This, we could probably go get a gig in a restaurant tonight, you know, just to keep it.
Get dinner. Nobody knows how we got to the top of the hill. We're here for a way down. Grew up in Hoboken, the same neighborhood as Frank. He was the same age, and he used to sing. And he was invited, I don't know how he got the connection, but he was invited, somebody heard him sing, and so he'd come sing on Major Beau's amateur hour, and which was a great honor, you know, people get discovered there. And there were a couple of other people who were going to be on the show that day, and my father chickened out. He never went. Turns out that the other guy was Frank. It was his first debut ever. And so, of course, naturally, the story goes, who knows what happens if I had chickened out? That could have been me, right? Could have been him.
Life story about
So,
when the door opens.
You know, I get goosebumps now because, you know, my father always had a thing about Frank for his whole life, you know, because he's had sort of mixed feelings about him, because always wondering, you know, but unfortunately, my father died fairly young. He was in his late 50s when he died, and he had always had a hardware store, and that he co-owned with my uncle, his brother. And I had lost touch with them until just years ago, and my uncle just recently died. Before he died, I went back and spent some time with them.
Where was the hardware store?
It was in Woodridge, little town of Woodridge, which isn't far from Leonia. And he told me that Frank had relocated somewhere closer there, and that he used to come into the store. In fact, he became a regular there. And it just cracks me up. My father, you know, I just can't imagine what that would have been like for him if he had lived to see that, you know. It's one of those bittersweet things in life, you know.
So he had what kind of mixed feelings? What were the feelings?
Well, you know,
Did you like him? What did he
sort
have?
of. You know, my father was a pretty unhappy guy, and you know, he had a lot of talent that he never realized. Musically, he was an artist. He did cartooning and painting, and you know, he was very funny. And but he never really held himself back. When he was a young man, besides the Major Beau's thing, someone invited him to come out and work for Max Fleischer in Los Angeles, when it was like Betty Boop and what was the other one, Felix the Cat, and he would have gotten in at the ground floor of the, you know, before Disney even took off, right? And he said, "Oh, that's too far to go to California," and he never took that opportunity either. So I mean, he had a couple of chances. Of course, if he had done that, I never would have been born, because that was before he met my mother. But still, you know, and I've learned from him. And that the risks that I've taken in my life, when I've come to those crossroads, I thought about the ones that he didn't take. And I said, well, I'm damned if I'm going to make the same mistake that he did, you know. So, you know, I've taken some chances, but... So he taught me by, you know, taking the other road.
Well, by example.
So, yeah. So, you know, he used to say, Frank, he's not that good. You know, he used to hear him say...
Sour grapes.
Yeah, sour, yeah. He had some of that. He definitely had some of that.
You know, was he the greatest singer in the world? Of course not. But he had something.
Yeah.
He had great charisma, and he had audience talent working the audience.
Yeah, he knew how to connect with people.
And his career crashed and burned at least twice in a big way. His movie career went into the tank, and his record career, he lost his voice.
Yeah.
He came back from adversity, but he understood several key components that he needed great arrangements, and he needed to surround himself with great musicians. Well, and then almost anybody can sound great under those circumstances, you know.
But he knew how to deliver a song.
Well, of course he did. He knew how to tell a story. Because I've heard people say because he was an actor, he knew how to tell a story. And when he sang, you know, it's 2:45 and there's no one in the place except you and me, you got the impression he knew something about lost love.
Yeah.
You really knew that he knew what he was talking about. He had had his heart broken.
Yeah, he lost some good ones. He lost some good ones, all right. He was Gardner for one.
So if you come to New Jersey, I'll share that bottle of Jack Daniels with you.
Oh, wow, there's an offer. You're just telling us further,
Production
right?
meeting. I don't hear any music. Must be a production meeting.
It's a secret mail Kabbalah meeting.
Oh, she's got the hammer.
I do.
And I got Phil.
And you find the
Find
nails.
that up.
If you walk around barefoot, you're gonna find them.
That's how I find things.
No wonder you could open that beer bottle.
There's one for the video.
Anything fun with you?
No, but future generations might.
Really?
Off she goes.
Oh, she does.
So,
Walks into a bar and he's got a big steering wheel on his hooked on it with front of his pants. And the bartender says to him, "What's up with that?" And he goes, "Arg, it's driving me nuts." That's a very good joke.
That meets all the criteria. It's
It gets,
pretty good.
it gets a laugh wherever you tell
yeah,
it.
I gotta file that one. I can't tell jokes, but if it's like 2 sentences
Right.
long, I can do that one.
Arg, it's driving me
My
nuts.
joke is the frog joke. You hear the frog joke? It's similar. A guy walks into a bar, right? He takes off his hat and there's a frog sitting on his head, and the bartender says, "How's that get there?" And the frog says, "It started as a wart on my ass." I got 2 jokes.
So a priest, a minister, and a rabbi walk into a bar. The bartender says, "What is this, a joke?"
Well, as a matter of fact,
Okay, this one, I told Bob yesterday. Somebody sent me this link. It's YouTube, so somebody actually shot it and filmed it. It's a cute blonde young woman. Walks into the college library. Walks up to the desk librarian standing there. And the young blonde woman says, "I'd like a Big Mac, fries, and Coke." And the librarian says, "Young lady, this is a library." And the blonde looks around and goes, "I'd like a Big Mac."
And I'm all out of jokes right now.